Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 2 of my Yunnan Clique campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich, post-China rework. Now, what we're going to start doing here is moving some soldiers over here to Hunan, which is a bad idea, going after them because it's going to create internal strife from what I remember, but we can get some interesting paths that I want to go down. So we are gonna be going after them after we're done with the mountain economy here. Let's make sure that we're getting some steel. Of course, we're gonna trade with France. We're gonna always try to trade with enemies of the Germans whenever possible. We should be getting some more stuff. Yep, here we go. Okay, officer department asks for support. The military clique of Sichuan to the north has collapsed into civil war, with the various warlords of the provinces turning on each other. While in most cases this would be business as usual in China, the very south of Sichuan has been occupied by the officer department, remnants of the KMT-aligned groups that supported our last invasion in 1933. Now with this civil war, they have a chance, however small, of taking control of the entire province and are asking for our support on their endeavors. Supporting the officer department will certainly be costly, but the advantages of turning Sichuan into a KMT stronghold must not be underestimated. It would be pretty powerful. Let's see, they've got 4 more factories that would effectively double my count, not to mention all that recruitable population. As it says there, they are dealing with the civil war at the moment. We'll send them what we can. We have plenty of guns, so that's what we'll send them. Maybe some direct troops might be the way to go, but no, we'll send them the guns. We have more than enough. I probably should actually be training more men. It says that unusually it says there's special templates I'm not allowed to, strangely enough. Okay. Wait. Alright, so that's it. Manpower's out. Democracy got destroyed down in Australia, and wow, things the left Kuomintang succeeded down here, but we still have the Yunnan Clique that is maintaining power up here with their capital at Jinjiang. But the Anqi Clique was very successful, as was the left Kuomintang, which is of course, probably the one. I think this is actually no. I think the Qing are going to end up being the most popular of the new ones, at least initially. But the left KMT, as far as I could tell, of I would say these Eastern Chinese factions, this might have one of the more difficult roads ahead of them for unifications. The Yunnan economy. Yunnan is still one of the less economically developed areas in China in terms of its overall economic power due to its mountainous terrain and bad communication with the outside world. Yunnan depends mostly on its agriculture and mining to sustain itself, and it has overall grown especially reliant on opium production and other cash crops like tobacco or sugar in order to provide for its peasants. In Kunming, the establishment of the Kunming article and textile industries in the decades prior have also... There's typos here. In the decades prior have also began establishing a small industrial base for what is essentially a faraway corner of China. This seemingly unrelated economic characteristics have now grown relevant again, as Black Monday's effects have greatly destabilized the province. Economic experts like Miao Yuntai have brought up huge reform plans in order to push the province out of the crisis and forward into the future. Miao Yuntai, a longtime expert on Yunnan's economy and one of China's most renowned economists, has been one of the harshest critics of Tang Jiao's economic policies over the years, supporting an aggressive industrialization program and a complete overhaul of the agricultural production in the province. Miao has presented a reform plan for Yunnan which is split into two: the agriculture and the industrial reforms. While Yunnan has in the long run the capacity to compete in both, he argues that undertaking both programs would both greatly reduce our economic capabilities as well as hindering the effectiveness of the reforms. As such, he advised that whichever reform we choose to do first, we fully commit to its completion before moving on to the next. So we'll get a bonus now to industry, but what this is referencing now is, you see, so he's saying we should go all the way through so that we can get an economic improvement. So We need to. So we're going to seize this chance because we have to do it before August, and things are going to get crazy. With the Zili now finally distracted, the time has come for us to finally seize our rightful position in Jinjiang. Guizhou unlawfully occupied by the Yunnan Clique. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. They've only got 9 divisions, but it's a short front initially. If we could just bust through this initial area, we might be able to pull this off. Very well trained army already. Very, very well. Okay, let's get that mechanical computing, and you know what? We're gonna delete just one of these. Whoops. Reports of Yang Zhengxi in Yunnan. Following the disappearance of Jinjiang's sage governor Yang Zhengxi, reporters have flocked to Mengxing in Yunnan, which is where's that at? I forget where that's actually at, but to get the scoop from his hometown. The townspeople of Mingzi remarked that Yang's family is still well off and refusing to give hints as to where Yang would have gone. Most reporters came to the conclusion that Yang had returned to his military post in Gansu and ended their investigation there. The intrepid few with connections in Gansu, however, have reported that Yang had not been seen in Gansu, but traces of his gold bullion have shown up in the hands of trade merchants in Yunnan. Well, there's no solid proof as of yet. It appears that Yang either have been robbed and is now dead, or the old governor is staying close to home, incognito. Good mystery. Cost me 10 political power. Oh, frickin' joy. What's going on in the rest of the world? We saw the Cerealians took charge. They're still doing their trade union. Pope Pius XII over in the Papal States. Famine breaks out in Sichuan. The province of Sichuan has long struggled with famine. Rocky terrain and unpredictable weather kept populations low until the early Qing era, when widespread land clearances and immigration incentives brought hordes of peasants into the province. In 1925, a lengthy drought turned into a devastating famine that ravaged the province, leading to hundreds of thousands of deaths and millions of refugees. Now with chaos in the League, disrupting food shipments and another lengthy drought, the specter of famine haunts Sichuan once more. Already horrifying stories are emerging of mothers selling their children into slavery for scraps of bread, and anarchy gripping even the richest market towns. This year just keeps getting worse. Yeah, that's going around. So I think this is the area here where where the officers are. That would be so great if we could just absorb them. But we got less than 2 weeks. Things are going down to the east. Does not have deployment ready to deploy. What? Okay, 1% more. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Send them. Good, good. And Qing has declared war on the left Kuomintang, so these two are now going to duke it out. I don't see the left KMT getting out of this. Yeah, I'd be very shocked if they win. The General Staff refuses to take action with Tang's declaration for our armies to prepare to fight Hunan. The majority of the senior military staff of Yunnan has declared itself against such a course of action and have ordered their troops to stand down and remain in their barracks. As tensions escalate, Tang's closest advisors have recommended him to exercise caution and try to reach an agreement with the generals and drop the matter for the time being, even if that means allowing Hunan to slip away from our fingers. Tang, however, has not received the reports well and has seemingly secluded himself in his home at Kunming for the time being, allegedly to reflect on the situation in order to come up with a solution. Let us hope he knows what he's doing. We now have public resistance as well. Paternal autocratic support is going to begin to drop. So, we're going to do the... okay, I think it's... For what I want to do, I think I need... I think that I need to just let stuff happen now. So let's focus on something here. Okay, we have a daily political power gain to the right. Tourism, banning opium. Oh, research slot. Electronics, industry, bank investments. Okay, we're gonna do industrial solution first. Not we have begun the industrial forms, we have finished the industrial forms. Okay. So I can't just do that, then that, to just get a couple of quick improvements. Right, we're going to do industrial solutions. One of the two plans detailed by Miao Yin-tai explains that the current industrial output of Yunnan is unsatisfying and that it could be much larger. For that, he has proposed several policies and investments we should pass. Get to it. 5% stability. Weekly, it's getting lower. Not good at all. Really not good. Yeah, maybe I should come over here. Let's see, basic machine tools is done. Okay, we've got that. We can now stop distributing blades and instead have more bullets for our men. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. My clique's dealing with some issues as well. Anhui divide. Okay. Is anybody fighting out here besides these two? Well, the left KMT kind of appears to be losing. Technically, they're definitely losing now. Though they've been cranking out some more soldiers, but oh wow, look at the population difference. It is not even close. The left KMT is going to lose this. Miao Yin-tai requests to hire Canadian tin experts. As part of the ongoing economic reforms in Yunnan, the subject of the tin trade has been brought up repeatedly to Tang's attention. While there is no denying that the tin trade is extremely profitable for the province, a lack of interest and constant instability in the province have made any progress into making that endeavor into an even more popular one grind to a halt. Profitable one grind to a halt. However, since the recent downturn has allowed Miao Yin-tai to reach a relevant political position, he has once again pointed to the book he authored back in the early 20s, Outline of the Gyeju Tin Industry. In it, he detailed how to strengthen our gains from the mining industry and how to reduce the hold of German economic interests over our precious tin. As a first step of his plan, he is requested to bring to Yunnan a tin mining expert from Canada in order to assist in assessing the changes that will be required in order to make Yunnan's tin industry greater than ever. He has our blessing, and apparently 50 of our political power. Damn it all. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna get out of this. We've got to get out of this. Party popularity is dropping too. Stability's down to 2%. Okay. You know, I think we do have to do this just to see what happens. Situation diffused. Contain the situation not stronger. Strike down these fake Republicans, establish new direct rule, and we shall become the vanguards of the new national protection war. Yeah, our time to fix the situation has run out. We're going to have it run out. We'll work on other things. Now, right now, we're trading for steel. So, should perhaps expand the mining operations. Oh, no. This is actually better. Daily political power gains. Two separate ones. By attracting Chinese investors. China has never been seen as an industrial giant. There are plenty of wealthy Chinese who would be willing to invest in our province and in our nation so that China may one day be a world power. Through the Fudian Bank, we shall issue a new set of 1-month bonds that will allow us to get the money we need for our reforms and put money in the pockets of our investors. So it's going to help. Political power, production efficiency, factory output, construction, bank investments increases our daily political power gain as well. Yeah, we'll be good. Coup d'etat in Siam. Okay. Oh yeah, do we have that? Oh no, yeah, they wouldn't let us. They would not let me. Left Kuomintang is the left Kuomintang leader, of course. Yunnan Clique is that. We are Federalist aligned. Miao Yin-tai authorizes the renovation of tin production. With the advice of the Canadian tin expert, that one that cost me 50 political power, in Tang Yao's carte blanche, Miao has authorized the purchase and importation of modern ore washing and smelting furnaces. The modern smelting machinery would, as he put it, remedy two key weaknesses of the Gejiu tin exports. The first one would be the tin purity. The new electric furnaces, if properly operated, could raise the purity of the Gaiju tin to international standards and provide a uniformity of tin content that is necessary for the direct international sales, which would allow us to bypass German economic consortiums that work as our liaison with the international market. Direct international tin sales would allow us to exclude the Guangzhou middlemen and the necessity of resmelting, thereby concentrating the profits of the tin trade in the hands of the provincial government and our local tin producers. However, with our current lack of a foreign economic office to handle direct sales, we will be forced to utilize German intermediaries for the time being, although the new methods of tin purification will greatly enhance our income. Let the money flow. So this, we're weakening German economic control in the area. Good. Good. Alright, let's get some of these training. Whoops. There we go. That's what I meant. A little bit behind on the artillery and support equipment. I sworn I had all three going. It's not. Okay. The left KMT is really hanging in there. Are they getting some sort of defensive bonuses? Yeah, they got defensive bonus on core territory. Supply grace, reliability's up. Low popular support though. Alright, next up, Fujian Bank Reorganization? Maybe. Yeah. The Fujian Bank, founded by Governor Sai in 1912, is the major bank in Yunnan. And since then it has provided Yunnan with a stable supply of money and a stable financial framework from which to propel our investments. However, improvements could be made in reorganizing the bank to adapt to the new Chinese currencies, and worldwide financial moves should be one of our priorities. Okay. You know, I just realized I might have to take these though in order to trigger this other stuff. Oh, they're currently in open protest. What? I guess that's the public resistance. So as long as that's there. What do we have? Oh, here we go. Internal power struggle. Get event communications breakdown, which is, I think, the one that I need. Because what I really want is, Z-Day take charge if possible. But of course we don't totally know how everything's going to go down yet. 52 days to go. Let's see, we'll lose stability, war support, and political power. Okay. If I purge the high command, it'll go away. Or if I'm no longer the current country leader. Poland elects a new king. I'm a little confused here because it says, oh, if it's not completed, I'll lose some stuff. But when it is completed, I'll gain stability and political power. What? Oh, okay, we'll see what happens. We're going to see what happens here soon. Meantime, let's keep working on our industry. Yeah, just keep chipping away at that economic depression, which will now actually become industrial reforms. So we're going to be in the positives. Let's see here. Sorta. The founding of a new corporation in Kunming for the purposes of renovating and improving our capital is another step towards our economic rise. With the establishment of the Kunming Cement Company, we shall be able to start more ambitious construction projects within our province without requiring Beijing's support. Okay. How many more days we got here? 26. 26 there. And, okay, so a little bit after this focus is done. Camille Khanate is making its move. The Jian Clique erupts in war. It seems like the Western Gate between China and Central Asia has broken down into violence again. Governor Jin Shurin's recent dispute with Kumul resulted in a large contingent of volunteer soldiers rising up against the army garrison. Rumors say that the Turks to the far west are also preparing to defy the governor once again. The governor of Jinjiang, should he remain Chinese, represents a potential ally to the southern democratic cliques. The Kumliks, however, seem to vary greatly. Jeez, I'm tired. in between respect for Beijing to restless xenophobia. The Eastern Turks doubtlessly would separate from China entirely should they win. Zingjin's final failure. Okay. Oh, revolutionaries take over Mongolia. Much like Tibet, news from the Mongolian capital Urga is sparse. For many years, the status quo of the nation has been the leadership of the Russian Baron Roman von Ungern-Sternberg. However, recently news came out that after a rebellion in the west of the nation, the revolutionary Mongol Ardim Nam overthrew Sternberg while his army fought in the west. In a press release to the few media groups in Urga, the leader of the Man, which is the Mongol Ardim Nam, Solin Danzan, stated that Mongolia is once again in the hands of Mongolians, and that now Mongolia will be transformed into a democratic state for all Mongolian people. Mad Baron's rule is at hand. Okay. Okay. We're recovering our political power a bit slower than I would like, but it's because I'm in negative stability at the moment. Okay. Oh, what am I gonna do? God, do construction. Dang it. Okay. It'll pay off in the long term. Oh, geez. I'm gonna sneeze. Gonna be a cut. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, freaking, I went to blow my nose, and, I guess I didn't pause it. I don't think anything happened, though, because I have it set to pause if events pop up, so we should be good. Okay. 10 more days. Should I bother with doing something else? We're already almost halfway here. I'd like to get to this research slot as quick as possible. So we have... Incidentally, I don't think any of the Chinese nations get more than 4 research slots. Now, like most of China, our roads are horribly underdeveloped. However, unlike most of China, Yunnan has a complicated maze of mountains, valleys, and rivers that make road construction from a simple endeavor into an odyssey. In order to better move troops and goods, we need to expand our roads, bridges, and tunnels. And there's the Turks, East Turkestan, under Sabat Damur Abdulbaki. I went over this quite a bit in a progress report video. Communication breakdown! Our communications towards the other parts of the province have been cut off, with no way to ascertain the situation. Tang has sent out messengers to check in on the nearby cities, but we suspect betrayal from our army. We must prepare for the worst. Jeez, the political power drainage, it's unreal. But I'm hoping we're now going to get the events that we want. Oh, but we're about to get Army in Chaos, I bet. And that's going to cut me off. That's going to cut off this this focus. Belgian Declaration of Independence. Good luck, Belgium. And are they going to do that thing they always do, where they just end up jumping in with Germany anyway? Long Yun takes over. After gathering his troops in the southeastern entrance of the city of Kunming, Long Yun, this guy, led his troops to the east of the Dian Lake until breaking through the city's outer wall. Foreseeing an encirclement, Tang Jiao attempted to flee northward through the northern residential area in order to escape towards Sichuan, but was cut off by officers loyal to Long Yun before he was able to flee the city. With the capture of Tang, the remaining loyal forces fighting Kunming surrendered before dawn, and a committee was hastily assembled by Long Yun in order to judge Tang. However, the coup has caused great upheaval among the many factions in Yunnan, and Tang's trial had to be rushed due to fear of him escaping custody in case of a clash near Kunming. accused of endangering the people of Yunnan, overall incompetence as a leader, favoritism over capable officers, treason to the republican ideals of the province, and embezzlement of public funds. Tang was forced to sign his resignation and to retire from public life. This isn't the end of Yunnan's woes, unfortunately. While Long Yun entrenches in the capital and reinforces the Kunming arsenal and the Yunnan Military Academy, Zui Pied in the southeast, Hu Ryo in the west, and Lu Han in the northeast, those are all various leaders, mobilize their forces for a final showdown for the control of Yunnan. The fate of Yunnan hangs in the balance, and now we're about to be in chaos. Okay, let's see. I've got 13 days here. It's going to be 5 less than I need to finish the road development scheme. Oh! Paternal autocrats are now going to be called the National Pacification Army. Long Yun emerges the only man capable of quelling the falling out between the various factions of the National Pacification Army. Even if it meant having to turn on his own brother, he undertook the necessary measures to entrench his administration in Kunming and hold the city. Now that the dust is settled, after this period of brief civil war, remains to be seen if this young ambitious Yi general, Yi being his ethnicity, has what it takes to rebuild Yunnan. Long Yun has often dreamed of one day surpassing Teng Jiao, and now he finally has a chance to just do so. Gets event, Yunnan Clique falls into civil war. Army in chaos is just going to basically completely cripple the army, and stability is down as well. We're at negative 21 and counting. So the Long Yun, there he is. We've only got 3 divisions. Ah! Okay, what? Oh, no, this must just take a second. Let's wait till midnight. Yunnan Clique falls into civil war. The once peaceful province of Yunnan seems to have finally caught fire, as Tang Jiao's continuous blunders have finally led to an open revolt from his general staff, led by the Yi general Long Yun. A huge army of loyalists marched on the city of Kunming, moving in from the south and finally taking the city at the end of the day. Governor Tang Jiao has been confirmed dead, and large-scale uprisings are being reported throughout the once hegemonic province of southern China. Many experts suspect that behind these uprisings lie both the surviving right Kuomintang troops, the National Revolutionary Army, led by Zhu Pied, and the warlord forces following General Hu Ryo, a longtime rival of Long Yun. As armies mobilize in the narrow valleys and tall mountains of the mountainous province, the future of the region remains uncertain. Is there any place in China safe from strife? I see. Okay, so we've got... It's been past midnight. No commanders. None whatsoever. It costs us 0 to recruit new commanders. And we do not have 0. We have negative 286. Alright. So, now we've got something new here. We could aim for the new China. We could try to form the new republic. We could also expand and create a greater Yunnan, which is rather interesting. We'd go south into Siam and Indochina and things like that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Just these areas down here. So maybe it's like, we're just going to take China and move it somewhere else. And admittedly, I don't even know which direction I'm going to go in yet. I'll have to sort of think about these things, but I think we actually can't do anything at the moment. We're gonna have to get through some events. There's no focus to select, so let's look on the sunny side. That means that I can get more political power per day. Wow, we're actually, because the army in chaos is doing a minus 50% plus the stability hit, even though we're not taking a focus, we're still not even getting a single political power point a day. So if we were taking it, we would be actively going into the negatives. So let's read this event and then call it a day. The capture of Anshun. As Long Yun marches through the southeastern roads towards Xianghong, he has sent a detachment southward to secure the province of Guizhi before facing off his enemies at Bijie. The harsh terrain in the area has made the officers leading the detachment increasingly wary of possible ambushes. However, as the detachment came close to the Nanma River, a small group of soldiers carrying a white flag approached the detachment. The soldiers had been sent to negotiate by one of Long Yun's rivals and requested to give the city another day in order to allow for the women, the children, the elderly to be evacuated to a safe area. In exchange, the soldiers promised the defenders' forces would retreat as well, allowing the detachment to capture Anshun without firing a shot. The officers leading the expedition requested the soldiers to give them a few minutes to discuss the matter internally. While the proposition seems noble, Long Yun's officers are distrustful of the soldiers. They could be buying time for reinforcements to arrive from Qianzhong, and some even argue that a direct attack now, while costly for the civilian populace, would strike a killing blow at the factionalist forces. By the end of the deliberation, the officers told the soldiers sent to parley that, given a day to evacuate, nothing more, or the attack will begin in the afternoon, and they should return before hostilities resume. Oh, either way, I'll get command. I'm going to lose some command power off of this and political power, but we will gain army experience. But what decision we're going to make, we'll find out next time. I will see you then, and remember to subscribe so you know when it goes up. Have a great day. Goodbye.